This will be more mellow. I would like to speak about loudness wars. You may have heard that there is a debate brewing wherein a lot of music, including on CDs, but also digital media like MP3s, critics assail that there is too much loudness, meaning that you get squashed to the peaks. There's not enough dynamic range in music, modern music nowadays. Of course, classical music, people might say, that's too soft. Well, that's why you have a volume knob. But the same sorts of principles, they also apply to people's personalities. And by that, I don't mean someone who's always very loud, very shouty, but someone who feels they can only express part of themselves. They stick themselves in that sort of loudness zone, and other people don't see so much of them. They're not aware. And self-awareness is one of the most important tools we have. Because when we're thinking of our state of mind, when we're thinking of other people and how we judge other people, we often think, do they know, are they aware? Like someone might be watching this video right now, like you, and you might be thinking, does he know that his hair is this messy? Well, yes, of course, I am quite cognizant, and if I got a haircut, that would change how I'm perceived. Just like if I didn't have this pink and green caterpillar wiggly worm guy, that would change how I am perceived. But I chose to have this because I love pink and green. They're wonderful colors, and whether you love or hate them, if you find them too loud, you will have to notice them. That's always a constant. It's just hard. It's almost impossible to avoid the pink and green. They are a high contrast, and a high contrast is one of the fundamentals of having dynamics, whether it's the black to the gray to the white, and all the colors, or in music, you go from very soft to very loud. The same thing with a not just a well-balanced personality, but a well-learned and experienced personality. Just like you have the elementals, different forms of properties, and all sorts of things in life. When you explore those timbres, when you explore different flavors of ice cream, when you're looking at different kinds of cats or dogs, there is a wonderful diversity. And I have often felt that even if it makes you uncomfortable, to really step outside sometime and to find yourself. Like, for example, you dress like a goth, even though you're not a goth. So, you might get teased for it. I hope nothing worse happens, but you might learn something about yourself. Maybe you discover you do like it. Maybe you discover that goth is just a lame label used for stereotyping people. But the key thing is to go through all those forms of experience, all those permutations, and then you can put yourself together better, and then you have a heightened self-awareness. You'll also know what other people are thinking, what they're feeling or saying to you before they do it. It's not a matter of being psychic. It's a matter of going through all the sorts of different personalities that people have, for good or bad, and applying the best parts to yourself. A quote I have is, chop the slop, which means to discard anything that is useless. There are things in this world which are clearly useless. Like, for example, that's why we have garbage. We sometimes use something, like you eat the orange, you probably don't eat the peel. Even if you do, you're most likely going to throw something away. You're going to have garbage waste disposal. The same thing of a mind which is not just intact, but always filling in, always learning and absorbing new things. So you have a greater amount of contrast. And just like with a symphony orchestra, you have all these sorts of instruments. You don't just have violins, you have flutes, you have a timpani, boom, boom, boom. You may have a piano, sometimes you have a rock guitar if you play with Metallica. All these types of things, they all come together and they form this wonderful, varied ecosystem. Apply that analogy to yourself and you'll see how you can be so much incredibly more self-aware and happy. And the only reason I say this is because I'm doing it and I'm continuing to live it, and I truly believe it.